Welcome. So here we'll talk about modeling. That's the first thing we'll talk about in this video. So when you open your 3ds Max, this is 2021. This is the interface you will see. You see these viewports can be 4, can be 4, it can be 3, it can be 2, depending from here. Those things are set from here. You see. So I prefer this. So the first thing you want to do is to import the floor plan you want to work on. First you prepare those floor plan using your CAD applications. I use AutoCAD. So I'll go to file, I'll go to import. Now if I get to import, I'll look for the folder where I saved that floor plan that I'm looking for. So the floor plan is what I'm looking. I'm going to the folder. So you go to the folder where you saved it. So this is what you want to work on. Then when you click on it, this chart will come up. You just say okay. Now immediately your drawing enters, just Control A, like select all. Let's Control A here. Then group them. Call it plan. Call it anything, but I prefer to call it plan. Now after grouping it, then I can open this viewport. You see where I clicked to expand this viewport. Now the next thing for me to do is I want to move this to the center. If you check, this is not at the center of this viewport. How do I know? If you look at this place now, see where this plan is, but then see where the center is here. This is the major grid horizontal axis, this is the major vertical axis, so this is the center. So you would need to bring this to this point to avoid you looking for this plan by the time you've started modeling. So how do we do that? I can just select this plan and then move it. Just click move, then come here, make everything 0. If you check, it has gone to the center. Now I can no longer look for it, so I can just expand here, go to top view and zoom out. Then this is the plan now. Now if you check this grid, it can be disturbing. If you want it, you can leave it, but this is how you can toggle this grid, by pressing G on your keyboard. If you press G, it will off, press G to come up on. So I prefer to remove it at all. Now that we are here, the next thing I would want to do is, in case for my AutoCAD file there are objects that have heights here, for example, maybe there are objects that have height there. If you go to front view like this, let's say we zoom in, at some point you see that some objects here have height. So I want to make the Z as 0 while on top view. Remember, should be on top view. Remember, to switch to top view, you can go from here to switch to top view, bottom view, or you can just simply press T on your keyboard to switch. So now that I'm here, what I'll have to do is I'll select this. See how I selected? You just left click anywhere, then drag, hold and drag till you cover the whole area you want to select. Then you leave it. Then I've selected this now. So what I want to do is I'll go here. This is scale. If you go here, you left click and hold, you see this menu will come up. We have uniform grid, uniform scale. This is select and uniform scale. Now this is select and non-uniform scale. Now this is select and squash. So what I need is select and non-uniform scale. So once I'm here, I'll place my cursor on top of this and right click Then once I right click, this chart comes up. Then what I'll have to do is make sure that my Z axis is 0. Then you press enter. Once you enter, you see it has entered there. It's 0 now, so you close it. So that way you have no more heights. Nothing in here is having any height, so that it will not disturb you during your modeling. Now, what is the next thing to do after this? Now, the next thing to do is, there are many ways to go about this, but then I will teach you the one I think is the simplest, because that is the way I go and it is easiest for me. So what I will do now next is I will go here to shapes, and I'll select line. Then I want to use line, trace all the external parts of this joint, all the external part of this joint. And then while tracing it, I will keep in mind my window points, the ending of just all the points, window, doors, anything at all. So before I do that, I will need this thing to be snapping. So I'll have to go here, I'll toggle snap. Then I will be sure the only thing I need here is the vertex, this vertex. So you go here, just take your cursor on top of these snaps, then right click, you see this chart. So you make sure it's only the vertex that is on. Put every other thing off to avoid unnecessary disturbance while doing this. So once you are there, you close. Now you start from any point you deem fit. First of all, you trace the external part of the drawing. Now you trace the external part of the drawing. Then while doing that, once you are working on a straight path, you just hold on shift, press and hold shift on your keyboard while you are moving. If you press and hold shift now, you turn on auto mode, kind of auto mode. You just be moving at angle 0, 90, 180. I get it on straight lines. But then once you leave the shift, then you're moving around on all angles. So to avoid mistake, you just hold shift, except you are working on a path that is not straight. If you have a circular path, then you can leave straight and just use snap to get them. Now I'll hold my shift while I trace along the external parts of this drawing. Now these are external parts. This is external part. This place is the sit out. If you check, you see this door here. If you come out here, this is the external part of the drawing. So there's no wall here. So that's why I avoided that place. This is a window. Then we'll come in again. If you check, you see that here, this too is the external part of this drawing. It's a kind of a terrace. If you open this door, you come out here. There's no wall here, so it's external part. Now go in. Then when you go in here, you can see that we don't need to go in here, because if you get here, that we're already inside. We want to stop here. That is the line from here to here. So how do you do that? Once you are holding your shift, you just go down and snap here. It will select there. So this is what you do all around the building for the external walls. Remember, don't skip any line. In case you mistakenly, let's say, instead of choosing here, you are supposed to choose here as your next point. You mistakenly chose here now. Now what do? You just backspace. Just press backspace on your keyboard. It will go back. You see, if I press backspace again, it will go back. Backspace, it will continue going back like that. So that's how you correct any error. You backspace and then you continue. You backspace and then you continue. Because everly you're bound to make mistakes sometimes. Then when you make the mistake, then you correct it with what I just showed you now. You backspace and then you correct it. So this is what you do. Continue. Be careful so you don't jump anything. Be careful so you don't jump any point. Then use your ruler. Make sure the ruler is working. Use your ruler to zoom in and zoom out. So if you do everything well, you will come back to the place you started. Then say yes, close the spline. Now that you've done this, now what you need to do is right click, then right click again. This chart will come out. then go to convert, choose editable poly. Now this has been converted to editable poly. Now what's next to do? Just click on that, then go here, rename it. As a beginner, you need these things so you don't mix it up. But for me, when you become an expert, you don't need to rename anything because you already know what you have. So when you go there, you call this external wall. Now you click anywhere on the screen. Now when you open here, there's a chart that will come out here, but sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, just go to tools, click on Scene Explorer, it will come out. If you open some Autodesk 3ds Max, this column will come out on its own. But if it doesn't, just go to tools and put it on. So what does this do? We'll control the layers here. These are the layers you're having here. If you see, this is external wall. I can just put it off from here, put it on from here. I can just select it from here if I want. And then if I still don't want, I can still hide it. I can still select it, right click, go to hide selection. I've hidden it now. I can still go and put it back on from here. So once you are done with this, hide it. So you can repeat the same process for internal part of the building. Remember, you click here, create, you go to line, then we'll go on internal part of the walls too. Remember, hold your shift if you're working on straight lines. If you're not working on straight lines, then you can leave it so that you get what you want. You can go this way or go this way. Either way, you will arrive at the same thing. So let's say we go this way. I'm holding my shift now. I need this point now. You see where my snap is? So I cannot snap it because there's nothing there. So I'll just hold my shift and click here. Now I've gotten it. Now go that way, go this way. Make sure you identify all your windows. When doing this, you go wall to wall. You avoid the doors, except the door is leading outside. The door is not leading outside, focus on the wall. If the door is leading outside, then you mark the wall. Like here now, this door is leading outside, so I have to just close it that way. Continue doing the same thing. Remember, if you make a mistake, use backspace and correct whatever mistake you make. So this is what you do. Just be moving, left click at each point, at each vertex. Just that way. If you see this is coming out, so I don't want to go out. I'm focusing on the internal wall, so I'll jump there like that. So you continue. I've made a mistake now. See, instead of here I selected here, so what I do is I just click backspace and I continue. Remember, this cannot be this must be continuous until the end. This thing I'm doing now, it must be continuous until the end. If you mistakenly cut somewhere, then you have to delete and start afresh. So that's why you have backspace there. In case you make an error, click backspace, correct it, and continue the line. So continue like that, continue like this, like that, like that. Make sure you don't miss anything. Make sure you don't miss anything. Continue, select everything you need to select everything you need to select in lines, just that as they are arranged. If you do everything well, you end up where you started. Now we are back to where we started. Then close spline, you say yes. Right click again, then you convert to editable polygon. Now once you have done that, rename this as internal walls. Now these are the internal walls. Now, so what I want to do, there are still points that are remaining to sit out. I'll put everything on, together so that I'll see the points that are still remaining. So what do I need to do? I need to, this is a sit out, this is a sit out, so these are floors. There's no wall, they just floor, a flat surface. So I'll create, I can use rectangle if it's totally rectangle. This is rectangle, so let me use rectangle here. How do you use rectangle? You snap one end of the rectangle, you left click, hold and drag till you get to the other end, then you release. Get. Now you convert it, right click, convert it to editable poly. Go to create again, select rectangle again. This one is still rectangle, so you get to snap any point, any point one side of the rectangle, left click, hold and drag. Once you get to the, once you snap the other end, you leave it, then you convert it to poly. Then for this part, this is not strictly rectangle, so we have to use line. To draw this part now. From here, remember I hold my shift. It's not a must, but I prefer to hold it in case of any discrepancy, so don't affect what I'm doing. I hold my shift, I go here, I go there, I go there, I go there, I go there, I go here, here. Yes, I close this line and I convert it to editable poly. Now, what next do I do? See, this and this are just flaws, so I can just combine them together so that I'll operate them together and I will not have problems. So how do I do that? I'll just click this, then go to modify, click modify. Now when you come to modify, you have these options. You have selection, software, soft selection, and all this. So what I need now is edit geometry. If I go there, if I go into edit geometry, you see attach. Now I'll click on attach, then I'll select this other one and I'll select this other one. You see 3 of them are now attached together. Then I click on attach again to unselect it, to deselect it. Then I click anywhere on the screen. Now you see that if you click one of these, all of them are now together. Like these 3, I will just name it balcony or sit out, whatever you feel like is better for you. So I'll just name this balcony. I click anywhere on my screen. So if I put my balcony off now, you see my internal walls off, see my external wall off. So this is it. So now what is the next thing for me to do? The next thing I should do is to show the levels that I need. The levels, what I mean by levels is your foundation level, the height of my foundation from the ground level, then the height at which my window will start from, then the height, those 2 windows, the toilet window, the normal rooms window, and any other window, the height you want them to start. Then the next thing you will identify is the height of your lintel and then the height of your leveling. You remember this is a bungalow design. If it's any other thing, the height of the decking and all of it. So how do I do that? I switch to front view. I can easily switch to front view by pressing F on my keyboard. F on my keyboard. If I don't want, I can just click here. This is top view, bottom view, front view, back view, left view, right view. They're all here. Can go from here. Now, how I will calculate my height is using the normal block we use here. The height of the block is 225. Now, let's say your mortar height is 1 inch at the end of the day, which is 25 mm. At the end of the day, you have 250 per block. So bearing that in mind, I will use 250 mm per height of my block, so that it will be easy for me to calculate my block by courses, number of courses. I can easily multiply it by 250. So what will I use? I'll go to create. I use rectangle. To identify my block heights. So I just create rectangle irrespective of anything. Remember this toggle, remember when to on it, I want to put it on, I want to put it off. If at any point is disturbing you, if at any point the snap becomes a disturbance, you put it off. I get me. Now I can just put it off. I don't have any use of it now. So now I have this rectangle. Remember, let me delete and recreate. Remember I told you how to create rectangle. Once you select rectangle from here, click on any point. If you don't have any exact point, like here, I just want to create rectangle arbitrarily. So I just click and hold at any point, then drag. I left click and hold and drag. That is it. Then I leave it. Anywhere I leave it, that's where my rectangle stop. The height of it will stop. So once you click on modify, after creating your rectangle, it is selected. Make sure it is selected. Click on modify. You see the properties of this rectangle here. This is the length and this is the width. Now I want to use this to represent my block height. Now I want my foundation to be 3 block levels, 3 blocks from the ground level. 3 blocks, as including the DPC, everything. Let it be the height of 3 blocks from ground level. So the 3 blocks from ground level, like I said, I'll open my calculator. Like I said, each of my block is 250, like I've said. So I just do 250 multiplied by 3. That gives me 750. So this becomes the height of my foundation from the ground level. Remember, this position of the plan now is the ground level. So what do? I go here, I input my 750. Then I come here. Anything, I just want to put anything so that I don't need disturbance. Just let's say 500. What I'm interested in is the length, not the width at the moment. So what do I need to do? Now I need to move this. How do I move it? I need to move it to this place now to identify that this is from the ground level to 750. That's the height of the DPC. How do I move? Select whatever you want to move. This cursor, this Y and X will come. So once you place your cursor on any of them, then left click and then drag. If I want to move on X axis, I just place my cursor on X, left click and I drag, and I'm going on X axis. If I want to go on Y axis, I place my cursor on Y, I left click and I drag, and I'm going on Y axis. If I want to move arbitrarily on anywhere, I just go here. You just go there, here or here. That's in between X and Y. You hold it and then you're moving. You're going in any direction you want. So now, and mind you, your object will move depending on your last move. I don't know if you get me. Now, see this is my last move now. This is our last move. If we come now and select this point and want to move, it will only move in this direction because that was our last move. We have shown it where to move. So like this, if you want to bring this in here, the easiest thing to do is to come here, move it around like in all arbitrarily. Now put on your snap, go there. You see, if you come now, you see that this is snapping this point. It's snapping this particular point. If I go here, you see that it's snapping this particular point. So I want this point to come and be here. So I snap that point and I come and I place it there. We are here now. So this shows that the height of my foundation is from here to here. That is 750 from ground level. Now, the next thing I want to do is to create another rectangle, or easily I can copy this rectangle and then edit them, which is the easiest thing to do. Remember, I'm coming here to show you the fastest way to do them. We don't need to start doing it one after the other again. So what I need to do is I select this. What I'm trying to teach you now is copy command. You know, it's better you are learning while you're doing it instead of just learning. You learn from experience. That is what I'm doing now. So you click on this that we want to move. How do we move? How do we copy? Sorry. Hold your shift on your keyboard. Hold it. Press and hold it. Then take your cursor. Then move it. Move this object. Just move it out. Then release your shift and your cursor and your left click. Once you do that, this chart will come up. This is copy instance. If you instance, then any edit you're making on the instance will reflect on the original object. But when you copy, the changes you're making on the second copy of the original will not affect the original. Let me show you quickly before we continue. Quickly, let me show you. Let's say I instance now. This is instance. I say one copy. I want to instance one copy, or let me use two copies. I want to instance two copies. Now I have two copies now, right? Now let's say I click on this and I decide to change the height to 1000. You see, the whole thing changed. This affected the whole thing because I instanced. You see. Now let's say I want to change the whole thing to 2000. You see, everything is affected because I this was an instance. So what I want is copy. I don't want the whole what I want to do to affect everything I'm doing. So what do I do? Remember to undo your commands here. Just Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z until you get to where you want to stop. This Control Z now. I've undone whatever I did. Now I want to delete these two. I left click and drag. I select the two of them. Then you press delete on your keyboard. Delete, not backspace. Delete on your keyboard. That is how to delete here. I hope you're learning. Now, next thing to do is, like I said, I want to copy this and then make changes to show my other levels. This is my DPC level. I'll show my window level, my lintel level, and the final leveling. So what do? I repeat the copy command like I told you. I hold my shift. Now I move my cursor to the X axis because I want to copy in this direction. Then I click and hold and then drag. I left click and hold and drag. Now I'll say, how many copies do you want? Remember, I have 5 levels I want to represent. I want to represent the DPC level. I want to represent the height of my normal window, the room's window. I want to represent the height of my toilet window. Then fourthly, I want to represent the lintel level, and then finally I want to represent the final leveling after lintel. So I'll just say 4. I'll just say number of copies 4. You can copy any amount anywhere. At the end of the day, you can delete the ones they didn't use at the end of the day. But the normal thing is 4. We have one already. Want to copy extra 4. We say copy. We say copy. Remember, don't forget. See, don't forget. Remove this thing from instance. Put it at copy. Copy. If you don't want everything to be affecting the original, you make copies. Now remember, you make the copies into how many number you want it. So after you have select copy, you come to number of copies here. Want it to be 4. Now we have 4 of them. What is the next thing to do? Now this would represent the height of my window. Now from the DPC level, now I want my window to be 4 courses. From the DPC level, I want my window to be 4 courses. That is the normal windows. I want it to start after 4 courses. So we'll go back to our calculator. Remember, we have 4 by 250. That's 1000. So I click on this second one. I go on to the length here and I change it to 1000. This is 1000. Now what do? Since this focus is not starting from the foundation again, starting from the DPC level, so I move this thing. I move it to this point. Now this is ground level, normal compound level is the height of the foundation. This is DPC level. On the DPC 4 courses, I will start my normal windows. Now the next thing I want to do is to select this. I want to start my toilet windows at 6 courses from the DPC. So what do? I check 6 by 250. That gives me 1005. So I select this. I go to modify, go to the length, and make sure it's 1500. Now we move it to this point. Remember, this is 6 courses from the level of the DPC, for the DPC level. Now next I want is my lintel level, because after my toilet, this window and this window, next thing is lintel level. Except you have any other level you want to acknowledge. Maybe you have some type of windows that started from somewhere, whatever, you represent them, everything here. Now I select this other one. I want this to be my lintel level, and I want my lintel to be at 10 courses. It can be at 9 courses. You are the architect or the engineer, so you make your choices, anything you want. That is why I like 3ds Max. It is user friendly. It is flexible. You do anything you want. Now, when you select this, we want it to be, I want my own to be at 10 courses. So what do? I do 10 by 250. That is 2005. So I'll click here, go to modify, then go here to length, make sure it's 2500. Now this 2500 is starting from the DPC level. Now the last thing I want to represent is my final leveling. Now if this is 10 courses, remember you now have your lintel itself. The lintel itself is one course, and I want to level it 3 courses after that. That means 10 plus lintel 11 plus 3 more courses, that is 13, that is 14 courses. So what I will need to do is I go to my calculator and I check 14 courses times 250. That gives me 3005. So I select this, you go to modify. Remember, sometimes you might select this and this thing is here, or is here. Make sure you select modify. Be sure it's on modify. That is only where you will be before you see the properties of whatever you selected. Now I will go here and I will make it 3500 as calculated. Then remember that 3005 is from the DPC level. Now I have represented all my levels. This is DPC level. This is my normal window level. This is my toilet window level. Then this is the lintel, and then this is the leveling. Now what do I need to do? I want to select all of them and group them so that I will not be, this is rectangle 5, rectangle 6. I want to group them. I select them. Remember, group, select only what is needed. But in case you mistakenly select what you don't need, this is how you unselect. Let's say you just want to select this 4, but you mistakenly selected this 5. How do you unselect? You hold alternate on your keyboard, then take your mouse on top of that thing that you want to unselect. If you check, you see that the mouse changed from this to this. Once you are there, left click, it will unselect. Anything you want to deselect, hold your alternate, go on top of it, left click, it will deselect. So I want to select all of this, then I want to group them. This is grouping. I click here and I want to call them levels. You can call them anything you want, but I want to call them levels. Now if I select this, go here, you see these are levels. This is the group consisting of all this. So I can close the chat. Now you can hide and unhide anything you need and anything you don't need at the moment. There's a time you come, you need only the level, you don't need anything. Click on that thing that you want to hide, right click, then you will see hide selection. Click on hide selection, you hide this. I see now. If you want to unhide this, now you can right click anywhere. You will see unhide by name. You can see unhide all. Let's say you want to unhide everything you hid. Now you just click on unhide all and it will hide everything you have hidden. But then when I want to unhide by name, let's say I've hidden 20 stuffs, but I want to just unhide one. So you just click on unhide by name. This will come out. Everything that is hidden will come out. Then I click on that particular thing that I want to unhide, and then I select unhide. It will come out back. See it here. Now in case you don't like the color, let's say this purple color is kind of dim in your eye, you're not really seeing it well, you want a brighter color. If you just select this, look here, you see this color, just click on it. This chart comes, select any color you feel like you want. Now white, I prefer white for now. Remember, this is front view. Want to go to top view, you can just press T, or you can just go here and press top view. Now this is at our level. You can just move it out for some, just want it to be apart, just like here. Good. Now what is the next thing to do after this? Now the next thing to do after this is to build your walls. How do you do it? You do it into two. You work first, you work on the external walls, then you create your windows and door spaces, then you work on the internal wall, and then extend the walls and the windows and the door and the openings that are there that you have already represented on the external walls. What do I mean? Now Now okay, everything is on now. Remember, see here, if you look at this place now, click here. This is default shading. When you have default shading, you have everything as they are supposed to be. Then you have default shading and edge faces. No worry, when I build this wall, you will see what edge faces does. Now when you choose wireframe, it just shows you lines. It hides every other thing. You just see lines as if nothing was there. So like here, you make sure you leave this at default. You also have facets. I'll show you what to use those things to do. So now I want only the external wall to be on. I want the external wall and then the level to be on. So I don't need the internal walls, I put them off. I don't need the balcony, I put them off. I can just allow the plan and the level and then the external wall to be on. Now how do I build my wall? Select your external wall. You can select it from here. When you select something, make sure you look here to see what you selected, because at some point you might want to select this internal one. You mistakenly select the plan and you think is the external wall you selected. So please, once you select anything, for easier use, you select from here. But when you're now an expert, if you select here, you look there, you see what you have selected. Now I've selected the external walls. The next thing to do is make sure I go to modify. Remember, this can be anywhere. I make sure I go to modify. Once I go to modify, now see selection. We need selection now. So you select border. When you select border, click anywhere outside this drawing. Anywhere outside, just click, hold and drag. This will make sure that all the borders around this is selected. Once you do that, click top, click here and then go to front view. Now once you get to front view, please be careful here, don't make any mistake. Once you get to front view, want to build this wall, how do you do it? Hold shift on your keyboard. Now put your mouse at Y, because we are building in the horizontal direction. Put your mouse at Y. Now left click and hold, then drag. Make sure this is on. Make sure snap is on and vertex is on inside that snap. Now I repeat, hold shift. We're just about repeating the copy command now. Hold shift, place your cursor on the Y axis, left click, hold and drag. You see this thing is following me now, it's going with me. So anywhere I drop it, I release my left click, it will stop there. Anywhere I drop this and leave my mouse, it will drop there. Remember, hold your shift key, don't leave it. So first of all, I'll drop it to this level. This is the DPC level. Remember, I leave it. We are still going. Don't press anywhere else. Now hold down your shift button again, go to X axis again, go to Y axis again, sorry, left click, hold and drag again, then go to the second part. This is the windows level. Now go again, hold your shift key, go again to place this thing here, your cursor, left click again, hold and drag. Now this is the toilet window level. Now we'll go again, your shift is still there, you're still holding your shift on your keyboard. Even if you leave it, you then hold it back. Now take your cursor to Y axis again, repeat the same thing, the lintel level, repeat the same thing, the final leveling. Once you do this, but remember, so that you don't make any mistake, just go here, put on your edge faces, go here, we're at default shading, then put on your edge faces. If you put on your edge faces, you see these lines. So with this line, you are seeing that this level now is the DPC level. This level now is the normal window level. This level toilet window. This is for a lintel, and then this is for final leveling. So once you finish this, what do you need to do next? Click on this border. Go back here. Click on this so that you unselect it. Once you have unselected it, then you come back to this point. Click anywhere. Now you can hide this thing. You want to do something now, just click on it, on the levels, right click, and then hide selection. We have hidden it now. We don't need it for now. Now please, what we want to do now, we don't need this to be on to avoid mistakes. So put this off. If you remember, you can toggle it. If you press S, this will come up. If you press S again, it will go. If you place your mouse there, it's showing you snap S, angle, toggle A. You are seeing shortcuts. It's showing you. Anyone that have shortcuts here is showing you. Select and rotate is E. Select and move is W. So now you select this, then go here. This is orbit sub-object. Click on this. Now use your ruler. You see what I did now? Just place your cursor within this point, this area, then just roll. Your design will come from anywhere it is, even if it's there, even if you're not, just come here, roll, it will come inside here. So once it come inside here, this is how you rotate orbit, like not rotate, like how this is how you orbit your joint. So once you are here, just left click and hold, then drag in any direction you want. This is how you orbit whatever you want to orbit. Are you getting? But make sure your joint is within this area before you're orbiting. If it's outside this area, you might encounter problems. So make sure it's within this area while you are orbiting. Now the next thing for us to do is to indicate our doors and windows. Indicate our doors and window spaces. How do we do that? Now we come here now. Remember, when you orbit and it's out of what you want, you simply go to top again, then orbit again. Now I'm okay with what I have. So now what do? You go to edge faces, go to this point now, put this thing to wireframe override. You see what I told you? If you want to choose go to wireframe override, this will only be showing you lines. You're not seeing all those internal parts of it again. So with this, you will be able to identify your window points. You are seeing the plan. Make sure your floor plan is on at this point. Then if you check, like this floor plan, the way I'm seeing it, it's not obvious for me to see well. So I can just select it, go here and change the color of whatever it is there. I can just make it white. Now remember, select external wall. Then when you select external wall, then go to modify, under selection, then select polygon. So once you select polygon, now the next thing for you to do is, remember, you use this, you'll be using at this point so that you're seeing everything you're doing well, and then your ruler should be working so that you can zoom in and zoom out. Now if you come here, for instance, you're seeing that this is a window. Now this is a window. Now it is you now as the architect or the engineer that knows what this window is. Normally when I'm working in 3D Expert, I open that same plan in AutoCAD. My reason being that if I see anything and it's not clear to me, I go to the AutoCAD and I check what it is. Are you getting me? Now let me even do that. Let me open this drawing I'm working on now. The drawing I'm working on now, let me open it so that it will be easy for me in case I see anything and I'm not getting what it is. Then I can always go there and now let me allow it to open. Let me go back to my drawing when it opens. Now we are here. Remember, we have selected this external wall. You see it's selected. and then we have selected the polygon. Now we are seeing this window. For me, I already know this is not a toilet window, this is my normal window. Now if this window is another level, remember we must have represented it here. So what do? You select this window, will start from here. Remember, you have to hold control. If you want to select more than one thing anywhere, even in AutoCAD, you have to hold control to select many things. I get it. Once you select one, you hold control and be selecting until you are done selecting with what you want. So the same applies here. This is also a CAD software. So this window is, this is check, this is the boundary for this window. So this is the lintel level, this is the lintel level, and then this is not a toilet window, this is normal window. So I hold control and I select again. So remember, from what you have, this point is the DPC level. Now this is where my first window starts, and this is where my toilet window starts, and this is a normal window. So I've selected it like that. Now you leave the control, then you move again. At this point, this is my door. Remember, my door will start exactly on top of the DPC. So I hold control. Remember, hold control, because if you mistakenly don't hold control and press, the other ones you selected will unselect, and that will be a problem for you. Now you hold control, you select this, and this. You see, this door will start from the DPC level and gets to lintel. Now if you check, we don't have any other thing here. Okay, we have window here too. There's a window here, normal window. So start from, you hold control, start from DPC level to where the window stops. Now we have another window here. This is a toilet window. Now it will just show, it's just from here to DPC level. Now you click on your orbit. You don't need to hold control, just click on orbit and orbit again, just little by little, be rotating until select all the windows and all the doors. Now I have this is a toilet window, so I hold control and I select this. Remember, mistake is inevitable. So in case you mistakenly somehow select without holding the control, let's say you now select this and then you didn't hold control and everything else you have selected have gone, all you need to do is Control Z. You reselect everything again. Control Z is undo, while Control Y is redo. It's the same thing for all CAD softwares. Now I've selected this. Now this is the next, these windows. I hold on my control and I select them. I hold my control and I select them. Remember, it's left for me to choose the level of the window, where it starts and where it ends. For here, all of my window stops as lintel. Remember, you can have situations where it does not stop at lintel. Then that particular level where it stops should be identified when you are assigning your levels, so that at this point you just select them. So you do this, you continue. This is a normal window. Now orbit. Once I'm not seeing again, I orbit till I see what I need. So if I orbit now, I can see this is a door here. Now the door will start from DPC level to lintel. Now there's nothing here. Then orbit to this point. Now we have, this is a toilet, this is store door, this is store window, just like this. If I still want, it is me, I am the architect, I know what I want to do, so I can still complete it if it's that what I have on my design. Now this is a normal window, or this is a normal window. Remember, when selecting these things, don't make the mistake of, let me show you something like this. Now I selected this and then this appeared here. Please don't make the mistake of clicking anywhere on this axis. You see what it will do to your drawing? See, it will destroy your drawing. If you make this mistake, you're gone. So once we're working, undo, I'm undoing everything I did now. So once you're selecting your polygons, you select any point and this thing appears, please zoom in before, and hold your control before you select again. Make sure you avoid that thing, avoid it. And when you're selecting, to be observant, because sometimes you might select and drag, you don't know. You might select and drag, you don't know. So be careful, be looking at these lines, be sure they're still okay. If you notice anything, just Control Z immediately. Now we'll continue selecting this window, then this is another window here. Now Now we'll come here, we have window here that will go from here to here. This window is starting directly from DPC level. For my design, my design is at my own discretion. It's anything I want that I'm doing here. So this is a door. This door is starting from lintel to DPC level. Now we'll continue again. Then we'll get here. We have window here. We have window here. We have window here. Remember, you can still have window that start at DPC level. It's totally dependent on you. This is toilet window. This is just here. This is normal room window. This is normal room window. Now this is toilet window, and this is toilet window. Now I continue. I go again. I get this place. Then these are normal windows. I select this and this. These are normal windows. This and this. This two is a normal window. This and this. Now, if you check, I use my orbit and I go around. I've selected all my openings, doors, windows, everything on this external one. I've selected all of them. Please, you check well and be sure you have done that. Now, what do I do next? Now, what I do next is extrude. Where do I see extrude? You come here under edit polygons. Remember, all these things I selected are polygons. So under edit polygons, you see extrude. In case you come and all these things are locked, you look for what you want. This is edit polygons. This is extrude. Now when you come to extrude, don't click here. Click on that setting by the side of extrude. Now once you click it, this chart will come. Now remember, here we used 150 blocks, and as such our window is supposed to be just 150. Extrude inside 150. You're getting me? Now remember, in real life, for instance, if you're laying the blocks, when you get to that point, you stop laying. I get until you get to lintel. Now this extrude represents the top of that block. There is still 150 blocks, 150 blocks. Assuming you have 9 inches blocks, 225. Now you use that, but say we're using 150 blocks. So what do I do now? What you need to do now is you come here, select this, and then input 150. Now after putting that 150, just click on this place just to see the effect. See if it goes in or if it goes out. Just looking at it, you observe something. When you come to here, you click here, you see that this thing brought another thing that we don't need here. So we just use group. You see local normal. This is extrude polygon, local normal. This is extrude polygon by polygon. This is extrude polygon, nothing. So I will use extrude polygons group. That's all. We have what we want now. If you look at it, you see that we have what we want. Let's say you go top. You go on top view, you will see these red lines. It moved back. It moved back. If you want to check well, let's say enter something else. Let's say enter 250 now. You see the line went in. So want it to stop exactly at this wall. That means we'll use 150. Then remember to go here so that you see the effect this is giving. If you want to see now, click on wireframe, put it back to default. Now at default, you see it very well what I'm saying. You see, we don't need these things here. So you go back to extrude polygon as a group. Sorry, extrude polygon by group. So that way we have what we want now. You see that our windows and door spaces have all gone in as they should be. So once this is done, click good. Don't forget, click good. That's okay. Once you have done that, just as everything is selected now, you just click delete on your keyboard. Click delete on your keyboard so that all these polygons you have selected now will go. The window will open. So let's come close so you see what happens. I click delete. Now the window have opened. You can see now these windows and the doors has opened. Now everything here has opened as it should be. Now after you've done this, now the next thing to do is to build your internal walls. The next thing to do is to build your internal walls. How do you do that? Just like you have done for the external wall. All you need to do is now click anywhere here, hide. Remember, remember, once you select anything in this software, you have to unselect it. This is still selecting polygons because polygons is still selected here. So I still go back to selection and I click on polygon again. It will stop, it will unselect, and then we're not selecting polygons again. So what do you need to do? You will hide these external walls so that we work on internal walls. Now I click on this external wall. I just hide it from here, or I just click it, I right click and I say hide selection. Now I want to turn internal walls on, and I also want to turn levels on. What do? I can just right click here. I'll say on hide by name. On hide by name, I'll go here, I select internal walls and I select levels. Remember, once you want to select more than one thing, once you select the first one, hold control to select the rest. So if I select internal walls, if I don't hold control and I click on levels, then I cannot select the two. I have to select and hold control and then select the other one, then I unhide them. Now the internal walls and then the level is on. Now what do? I build it now as I have built the external, just like I did when I was doing the external. Now